What up, it's your boy Dvrth here to give another video, and today we're here with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 20. Last episode we had a very satisfying fight between Mustang and Lust, who got absolutely cooked, and at the end of the episode we ran into Hohenheim, the deadbeat father of all deadbeat fathers. I'm hoping that we get a interesting conversation between Edward and Hohenheim, because let's be real, it's way overdue. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist or something totally different, the best place in that end is always my social media. Link's gonna be in the description. If you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. God. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones. Make sure they're on. Them bitches is on. And let's just get into it.
Tell me, Edward, what possessed you to burn down my home?
After what happened, we vowed to never turn back. We did it as a symbol of our resolve.
No, you didn't. You were hiding the memory. You didn't want to be reminded of what you've done. You thought you could erase the memory by destroying the evidence.
My man said it was about you wasn't
It's just
moving
like a
forward,
child who hides
you
the
were just
sheets
regressing.
under wets the bed. You
Wow.
ran away, and you know it.
Even the dog knows. I mean, the dog always knows.
Kanako. The life form my sons transmuted. Are you positive that it was Trisha?
Huh? Well, I wouldn't.
Did you notice the eye color or the hair color?
What are you trying to get at?
This
Are
is
you
okay.
telling me that wasn't even Trisha?
Who was it then?
For all that those boys sacrificed, you're saying that thing they created wasn't even their mother?
What the fuck was it?
And it made me realize that any type of body is incompatible with a foreign soul. Pairing them together, the body will eventually reject it.
Oh
It
damn.
could happen tomorrow.
This is
or 10 years
this
from
is
now.
news
But
to
it's inevitable that it
Winry
will.
that you are dying.
It sounds like a great deal to me.
No, it isn't! You don't know what you're talking about!
You and brother always gotta be the first to explode. I never get the chance to be the one to get mad.
It's just, well,
I guess I can't fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
don't
she
think
feels
this
really
body
bad
will
for
let
you.
me.
Damn, that's
oh.
oh god.
Something terrible is going to happen in this country soon. You should escape while you can.
This country's lousy with terrible things,
Ah,
and I can't leave. I've got other people who need me here. in
She
case
said,
I
"Fuck
have to
it."
Come home.
yo, she a real one.
I've given you my warning.
Hohenheim said it's about to get real. She
Hey,
said,
Hohenheim,
yeah, it's
wait.
always real.
Why don't we go back?
No,
You
my
bear.
stomachs are aching from the weather. It's about to rain. Let's just hurry and do this.
Yo, so what is it then?
Let's head on home.
Is
No.
it that painful to be around it? Like, is it that emotionally painful to be around it, or is it that physically painful?
Besides,
You ran away.
I won't run away from this.
I mean, that's just probably emotionally painful to be around it. So what color was the hair?
Ready? Mom's hair was a light chestnut color.
What?
This is black.
What the fuck was that?
This fever, it's much too long.
What did he? Who did he bring back? No, not bring back. Who did he bring into the world?
It really is impossible to bring the dead back to life.
Did you
Edward,
bring back?
Now listen to me.
No, you didn't bring anything back. You opened a portal.
Okay, Granny.
That's something that we totally didn't talk about in the last
The moment
episode
I
that we
made
should
this
have.
thing, it's been the symbol of my despair. Not anymore. Now it's an emblem of hope. Al can be returned to normal. Yeah, I need to ask you something, teacher. But
Oh, wow, this is going to be kind of tragic.
What is this, Ed? What are you trying to tell me?
I'm sorry to ask you this, but the child you transmuted, are you sure that it was your child that you brought back? A message?
Hmm?
Yes, a last request from your mother.
I'll be gone when he returns. Can you tell him something? I need him to know I couldn't keep my promise. I died before he did, and I'm so sorry.
What? Why would you do that?
Because
I mean, he needs to know too.
found out that the thing we buried wasn't really our mother. Did. This has actually convinced me we can return you to normal.
Ed, are you sure?
Yeah.
Make a new body?
But before I start explaining how, well, Winry, down.
Turned you both down.
Whatever. So the question's for both of you then. What was your reasoning?
She said,
I just don't like men who are shorter than me.
You can't judge a man for something he can't help!
I don't really see how this has anything to do with getting Al's body back.
Really?
Know you remembered something real, then we also know for a fact that really is Al bonded in there. I pulled you out, Al. I actually did it. I know it was only your soul, but that's just it. If I was able to pull that much of you out, then I've got a hunch that your body's still in there, and I can pull it out.
You
Really?
think my body's still in the portal? Existing separately from my soul?
Not existing, but I think somebody
Like
has
Barry's
it.
body.
For what happened when the truth unraveled you.
I reached out. And it was me. It was my hand I grabbed.
I knew it. Doesn't look like we're done with the truth yet, Al.
You from inside that thing. The thing we thought was Mom.
You were inside of it?
What the
Thing was
fuck?
you?
I guess so. But my soul didn't bind. It must have rejected me right away.
Why?
So that means we didn't harm anyone else's soul after all.
It couldn't. It didn't have a single physical trait that could have come from us. You're onto something, aren't you?
Yes.
What the fuck are they
The
bringing
conclusion
into the
that death
world
is
then?
permanent.
So not even transmutation can change that fact. Ed,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
So what did... Thank you. I wasn't the one who killed Mom after all.
Right. And now she can know that she also... It's not her
I feel like
fault.
I've been brought back to life.
Yeah.
Our child wasn't made to suffer twice because of me.
Right.
But still, none of this changes the fact that I'm the one who put you in that body. And I don't care what it takes.
I can't just stand back and watch other people get hurt over
Yo,
what
God,
I've done.
I'm saying Alphonse was in the
Like
trenches
what
with him.
happened to Mr.
Hmm?
Hughes.
Damn. My nigga
I
Hughes.
felt like it was my fault when I found out he was dead. And I told myself that if it meant other people getting hurt, then I don't even want my body back. And stopped other people from treating me like I'm still human. This body could reject me anytime, but it's the same with being human. You never know when you might get sick or die in an
Right,
accident.
right. Pretty much,
So
yeah.
I can still get by like this. I can't take all the nights by myself.
God damn it, my nigga.
It's too lonely. And that's why I have to get back to normal.
Sure, and you're going to.
Let's go. Renewed vigor. Renewed vigor. Let's get it.
Huh? That's weird. Have his shoulders always been so broad?
Winry looking at you for real now. That man becoming a man. The boy becomes a man. All right. This episode was interesting. This episode was actually really fucking interesting because here's the thing. All right, but no, we won't get into that first. We'll get into Hohenheim. Fucking ho. First of all, we talked about in the last episode how like it doesn't make it's weird, I'll say, that he would come out if Hohenheim is father, which I'm guessing he is. We're just gonna go on the assumption that Hohenheim and father are the same people, which I'm guessing he is. But the fact that he came out of nowhere, pretty much, it seems like he came out of nowhere, is my thought process of that. The end game is like, going into motion is kind of confirmed because he went to I forgot Granny Rock Bell's name. I was about to say Pachinko. God damn. I'm sorry, Granny Rock Bell. That's fucked up. But he went to Granny Rock Bell and even said, "Hey, get out of the country. Shit's about to get real." Now, granted, Granny Rock Bell was realer, and she was like, shit's always real. You know what I'm saying? So, respect to her. But the fact that he gave her that warning definitely solidifies my thought in my theory. And yeah, shit's about to get real. He's about to start doing some shit for real. Now what that is, I have no idea. What is he using sacrifices for? What is he using the homunculi for? It seems like he's trying to upset the balance of something, right? And for now, we really can't figure out what, at least I can't figure out what that is. But he seems like, I don't want to say he seems different, because we haven't really got to know Hohenheim for real. But it's just weird. Like, what really stood out to me about Hohenheim's like demeanor is one thing that stood out about his actions. One, that he took the picture of his family, like him and his family. He took that picture as what I'm guessing is probably like a memento, unless he has like some ulterior motives, like, I need this picture to make sure that I know what these people look like and blah blah blah, whatever. But he took from what it seems like, he took the picture as a memento to like be like, okay, this may be the last time I see these people. I want to at least remember the good times before shit gets real and I lose everybody. Now what he's seen, like when thinking about it like that, makes me think, he's not about to just upset the balance of something. He's about to like rain Armageddon on this country at the very least. What for? Once again, I have no idea. But all this culminates into me like absolutely thinking, oh yeah, shit is about to get really real. Which is a very simple conclusion to come to, but like that's pretty much what I've come to. Another thing that was interesting, as much as we didn't get a lot of conversation between Edward and Hohenheim, one interesting thing that Hohenheim did talk to Edward about, which on the surface area seemed like a dick move, but was actually really useful. Like, it was very useful to Edward. The fact that he was like, why did you burn down your house? Ever since this moment, like, we've been thinking, oh, so he doesn't have to look back at what happened, he can move forward. But in reality, I think Hohenheim was right. He burned it down in regression, not progression. I was about to say Aaron. Edward's whole thought process is to move forward. However, we have to remember that Edward is still a kid. Like, he's like, what, 15? And he was even younger back then. So it would make sense for a kid of Edward's age at that, at this age, and especially at that younger age, to be like, no, whatever happened here, we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen at all. It wasn't that Edward was accepting it. Edward, you know, he wasn't accepting it and moving forward. Edward was rejecting it and staying stagnant. And honestly, yeah, he may have just plateaued right there in his growth, which it can even be said something in like his height. But he plateaued right there, or even worse, he regressed right there. Edward never actually moved forward. But with his meeting Hohenheim again, and Hohenheim telling him, as much as I fucking hate him for the tomfuckery that he put them through, for whatever his reasoning is, I'm pretty sure it's some like huge ethereal, like big boss kind of reasoning where it's like, you would not understand, mere mortal. Like I understand that at least. But with this conversation with Hohenheim in the beginning, like it was, I have to at least thank him for that, because that's exactly what Edward needed to be like, oh yeah, you know what? Fuck you, but you're right. Like, you're right. I have been just been sitting on my hands, like, just not really like, I've been pretending like I've been going somewhere, but I actually haven't been progressing the way I should be. So to go back, you know, to the point where he started to plateau, uncover that horrible I guess scene of the body and like whatever they brought back, that being the point of contention where he started to plateau, to go back, accept that he automatically began to progress, like as quick as that. Like he began to progress. Him going back to that point where he stopped progressing, he automatically got answers. He realized, oh yeah, I can get your body back. Your body is still out there. You know, he gained new knowledge, and people started actually progressing. Him, Alphonse, Izumi, like people started to heal because of that. And in all reality, that's how you heal. You have to, you know, you face that type of tragedy, or you know, those points of contention head on, and then you begin to heal, you know. So as much as right now it's fuck Hohenheim, that was actually really good for Edward to come to terms with where he stopped basically growing as a person. Now, something that we didn't talk about last episode that I made a mental note in my mind to talk about last episode, but I forgot. Luckily, it came back in a way in this episode, where Lust, when Alphonse created a weapon without a summoning circle, or whatever they call it, I forget what they call it, but when Alphonse created a weapon without the circle, Lust specifically said, oh, you made a portal. And think about it, the only people that are able to use alchemy without the summoning circle, or the circle, whatever you want to call it, are the people that have been directly affected by the taboo of, you know, coming into contact with the truth. So if you're able to, instead of using alchemy, if you're able to create a portal, it's not too far-fetched to think that's exactly how you brought back those things that you thought was your mom, or that you thought was, or that Izumi thought was her child, like, which then directly goes into my next theory, or not theory, but like the next topic, which is what they brought back. Now, this is something that I didn't actually think about, like when they were talking, like, oh yeah, whatever he brought back, it was not his mom. Whatever Izumi brought back, it was not her kid. And that's when I started thinking, like, okay, if you didn't bring, it means that you didn't bring something back at all. Like, you didn't bring, in order to bring something back, it would have had to be a part of this world in the beginning. It would have had to previously been a part of this world. Whatever he brought back, he wasn't bringing it back. He was bringing something into the next world, or creating a portal. So here's the options here. The options were that he either brought something back, created something, or brought something over. That's our options right now. I think we can safely say that he didn't bring anything back, because if he was bringing something back, it would have some type of characteristics of what he was trying to, or who he was trying to bring back. And that's automatically not, like, this episode completely, like, thrashed that option. He was not bringing anything back. Now, the only two options that we're left with is that he brought something over, or he created something. Now, here's the thing. If he would have brought something over, well, he may not have known. Because, like, I was about to say, if he would have brought something over, he would have brought back Al's body. But he didn't know. They obviously did not know what they were bringing over. So that makes me think, what if these are our only two options so far? We now have to ask ourselves, if he brought something over, who did he bring over, or what did he bring over? Obviously it's not the truth or whatever, or it may have been, because if you look in Edward's dream, the truth was like whited out except for his arm and his leg. His arm and his leg were like a skin color, meaning that that's what he took from Edward. And if he's taking something from Edward, he obviously has a use for it. But what that use is, to have an actual, if I'm thinking about it, what that use would be is to have an actual body. So if it were to have an actual, like, physical form, it could come over into the next world, because once again, you're opening a portal instead of actually, like, using alchemy in the traditional sense. So that's the idea of bringing something over. If whatever he brought over automatically rejected Alphonse's soul, it was an income, because, like, in the dream, like, it was incomplete. So I'm going to guess that it got rejected because whatever it was incomplete, thus it couldn't survive in whatever realm, whatever realm we live in. So that's the thing of bringing something over. Next thing is that the next option is that he created something, which, here's the thing, I think we've made it pretty obvious through this show with certain episodes that the only way to create something is either if it becomes a homunculi, because we don't know for sure how homunculi are created. Like, we understand a little bit, but we don't know like for sure how homunculi are created. But if he created something, then it would either be just a random organism, I guess, that just lacked the function to survive, or he created something like a homunculi that lacked the power of the Philosopher's Stone to stay intact, I guess. He could have just also created like an empty husk that has no body at all, or no soul at all. But it's specifically said by Alphonse that he was in it and got rejected out of it. Like, if he was in it and it was a capable, like, actual, like, body, Alphonse would not have been rejected out of it. Alphonse would have just died with the body, I'm guessing. But Alphonse specifically says that he got rejected, meaning that something was trying to take form in that body, but didn't have enough of something to actually take complete form of it. And I'm guessing it's that, once again, I'm guessing it's that truth being or whatever, because throughout every time we see Alphonse's dream or like Edward's like memories of being in that situation, the true thing is always taking something from them, and then I don't know, man, it's always taking something from them. But you would think with the taking of Alphonse's whole body, he would have enough to just come back and be like, yeah, I'm in this bitch now. Unless he is already in this bitch. He could be in this bitch. No, because he also took Izumi's. He also, well, no, because that could have just been like another part that he needed. Like he took like internal organs from Izumi, and that could just be another part that he needed to survive or to create his own body. But he took Al's entire body, like nothing left. So whatever the fuck going on there, damn. Yeah, shit is getting really interesting. Like the show is already really interesting, but the mystery around what exactly is happening here is even more interesting than I expected. Because like this could possibly be something that's just incomprehensible. I don't know how to say that fucking word. I don't know. You get the point. This could be something that we just don't understand right now until the whole truth thing and blah blah blah, you know, whatever. But I guess I don't know. With this episode, things have been really interesting, like extremely interesting. Like there's already been a lot of wild conversations, debates that could happen that come out of this episode, you know, with the circle of life type shit, and you know, the souls being transmuted or whatever. But now that we have gotten a couple answers to a couple questions, I now just have more questions, which is something really. A show is always really interesting and really entertaining when it can do that, when it can have a mystery, answer some questions that come out of that mystery, and then that makes you that makes you ask more questions. It's something that I really liked about Attack on Titan, where it would have a mystery and I would get answers and I'd be like, oh wow, answers, but wait, then that means I have 9 more questions to ask, you know, and that's what kept me going in shows like this, or in shows like that. So knowing that this show is kind of on the same tip, where it's like, yeah, man, we got some questions that you gonna want answers for, and as soon as you get the answers for those questions, you gonna have more questions. I'm like, I hate it, but I love it, you know. It's a really, so far it's been a really well done story. Yeah, it's been a really well done story. So now that we have, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that happened in this episode that I'm missing? Resolve, you know, all the other stuff. One last thing, I guess you could say, that we'll talk about for a little bit, but I think I'm completely wrong on it, or I already debunked myself, I guess you could say, is Trisha when Trisha was talking to Granny Rockbell and the whole promise thing, it was said that Trisha wanted the message to be passed on that she died before Hohenheim. And my first thought was like, oh, if Trisha was sick, I'm gonna guess that Hohenheim's whole mission was that he wanted to heal Trisha. But then when we go back to like something that Granny Rockbell said before, she was like, oh yeah, Hohenheim once said that this, like, him leaving and doing whatever the fuck he's doing out there is like a dream that he's had for a long time. I'm gonna guess when he says a long time, I'm gonna guess that this dream surpasses the time in which Trisha has been sick. So whatever the fuck, I don't know what exactly is going on there, but hopefully that information or that message that we have to pass on is something that will bring Hohenheim back to humanity at least long enough to get some actual answers about what the fuck he's doing. Because right now Hohenheim seems the furthest from human. Like, he seems like he's about to ascend and do some like wild shit. So whatever the hell he's doing, it's not something that we can just be like, hey man, tell me what's going on. He's not gonna do that. It's going to be a little bit more complicated than that. But yeah, this show is getting, I mean, it's always, like I said, it's always been interesting, but this show is getting really, really interesting now. So with all that being said, it was a really great episode. Can't wait to watch more. I'm really glad that I'm able to like really watch this show now, like as much as I, like there's been a lot of missing episodes of the show. It's mostly because like we're getting towards the end of JoJo and I was really trying to finish that, but now that we have finished JoJo, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun actually like getting into the show and like finishing this up, because this show has been like it's been hitting all the points that I want in a really good show, like this show has been goated so far and I'm really enjoying it. So with all that being said, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. Link's going to be in the description. If you want these episodes early, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Yeah, that's fucking it. So with all of that out the way, get my off button ready. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.